Hello and welcome to the Inferno. We are on episode 37 of this podcast. We began this journey in the realization when you have come to realize that you've been involved with a narcissist. And today's episode is the divorce process from a narcissist. So, throughout the divorce process, whether they left you or you left them, the manipulation, the control tactics do not change. They do not get lighter, and you have to be prepared mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually to stand firm in your truth, to stand up for yourself, and make sure that you know the laws. I'm going to do my best to get through this episode. I'm a little bit stuffy, so pardon me if I seem a little nasally. So the divorce process from a narcissist is a shit show. And like I said, it doesn't matter if they left you. I first would like you to, I look back through the process for myself when I was blindsided and first met with my attorney, how charged I was in my emotions, right? It's to be expected when you are blindsided by somebody that you thought you were married to. So don't be too hard on yourself. But as the process continues through the divorce process, do your best to see the situation as a business transaction, and that you are doing this to not only invest and stick up for yourself, but also to, have healthy boundaries for your future. So know the laws, because in my state, it's called a no-fault state. A lot of states are like this, a no-fault state for filing for divorce. That just means that you can file for whatever reason. You don't have to have a reason. However, even in a no-fault state, and again, check this for yourself because in each state is different, infidelity does matter. There are certain guidelines when it comes to infidelity, and we know all narcissists cheat. If they left you, there is another supply. So they were cheating. So this does determine, first of all, if you've been married long enough, whether you're going to receive alimony. And in a lot of states, like my own, it also determines if there's infidelity. It does have a different outcome for property division. So make sure you know the laws. That first and foremost is very important, because a narcissist will not play fair. They will not be truthful. And since you put your time and your life at the hands of this person that was never genuine, I want you to stand up for yourself through the divorce process. I want you to have healthy boundaries. I want you to get your emotions in check and see this as a business transaction that has to be very clear cut. I want you to document everything. I want you to do timestamps. I want you to do screenshots. I want you to save emails. I want you to save photos. I want you to save text messages. If you have not gone no contact, which I will touch on that as well through the divorce process, make sure you document, because a judge does not want to go by hearsay. A judge wants facts. You present these to your attorney. I know divorces can be done without attorneys. And if you have any energy and strength left in you by the time the narcissist and you parted ways, more power to you if you want to represent yourself. But me personally, I would recommend finding ways to retain an attorney to represent you. Specifically, actually, they need to know about narcissism. And a lot of attorneys are narcissistic as well, but make sure you have a clear understanding between you and the attorney that you retain of the manipulation and the abuse that you've been through. Because a lot of times narcissists are not always physically abusive, but the coercion The manipulation, the control, the lies, the deception are so deep with these cowards that you will have things revealed. If you can afford a private investigator, I would recommend doing that if you are trying to, stand firm, especially in situations where there's years in there invested. You've built this roots, this home. There may be homes, mortgages, tools, whatever assets that you guys have obtained throughout the fake marriage to make sure that you are doing a very thorough discovery, because a narcissist, I don't know if this is for, sorry, I better clip this. I don't know if this is true for all narcissists in this fact, but if there are assets there, they are not going to be transparent about anything. So document, take pictures of everything. If the affair was happening a lot longer than you realized it was happening, that person, the narcissist, would most likely already be moving money around, taking a lot of ATM withdrawals out of their bank accounts and moving that cash to places where it's not traceable and trackable. Also moving material things out of the home if they're monkey branching to another location where there's already an established supply source, fuel source. So hopefully you are being vigilant, because I know these people, these cowards, I don't even know if they're people, can be very sneaky snakes. They are. But I want you to be very aware. Once you realize what you're dealing with, you stand up for yourself, because they will continue the manipulation through the divorce process. I'm going to do a future episode on the differences of divorcing a narcissist versus a healthy breakup, because it's huge. I went through a 14-month divorce process with a person that I didn't even have children with. And I'll give him the kudos because he divorced me. He was the plaintiff. Stroke that ego. Yes, I was divorced. I digress. A little bit of sarcasm there, because it actually ended up being a blessing. Even if they file, they will still drag it out. It has nothing to do with resolution and ending the divorce process in a timely manner with a narcissist. Again, a typical divorce in the state that I live in can be about 5-6 months without children. The divorce process that I went through and experienced with this devil, Satan spawn, was 14 months, and about 3 months of that was because of medical issues, and it was already being prolonged. They will not participate with discovery. Your attorneys will most likely have to subpoena information from them, because they do not willingly give it over to you. They will not give over information of assets and 401ks and how much they make an hour and all of that. Good luck if they hand it over willingly in their own divorce process. Make it make sense. So back to documenting everything. I want you to print out your phone records, because the phone always gives the answer to these cowardly cheating snakes. And I had pages upon pages of proof for my attorney and the judge of infidelity. I had proof of, go through everything. Go through bank records, go through credit cards, statements, some that I didn't even know about. You'll discover things that are very alarming, but trust and believe you have to be your own private investigator if you do not hire one. Because again, the attorneys and the judges do not want hearsay. They want past behaviors of both parties. So, I'm not one to throw people under the bus, because I am a very genuine person. But when it came to defending myself in the divorce process, I went back into substance abuse counseling, not counseling, but a rehabilitation center that was visited in the past, all under the umbrella of the fake marriage that I was in. So let me tell you this. if you aren't that type of person where you just throw people under the bus because of their past, the divorce process from a narcissist, you are going to have to be kind of a cutthroat bitch, cutthroat dude. Because if you do not, you're going to get walked on. You're going to get taken advantage of through the process. Again, I want you to keep your emotions in check. Save the emotional outburst and whatnot for family members, for people who truly do care about you. And then if you do have a good attorney, you know, they're going to accept and listen to the things that you have to say, but try to keep them kind of visits, because you are on a very expensive timeline with your attorney, as you know, for business. Provide them with documents, provide them with phone records, provide them with, if they're on social media, which most of them are, provide them with screenshots between them and their next supply. Provide them with the phone records of this person's married, but there's a lot of texts and a lot of phone calls between this next fuel source. Go through the spending habits of the ex-spouse and like purchases. For instance, there was one that I had turned in to the attorney and to the judge that was billing address was our address that was established in 2012, but yet they were shipping it to their fuel source's address. Do your research. And I just happen to be very good at that. So that's how I even found out that there was infidelity taking place in the fake marriage, which there always is with a narcissist. But they will never tell you that. And I want you to dive into that stuff no matter how hard it is to see, because you have to go into this mindset of protector mode, warrior mode, to, again, like I said, defend yourself and defend your financial grounds, because you are definitely entitled to things if you've put all these years into a marriage that was never real. I want you to defend yourself and never quit, because a narcissist does not want a resolution. It's still about control and manipulation. They will cut off their noses despite their faces. They don't care how much money it costs in attorney fees. They don't care how long the process takes. So there will most likely have to be subpoenaed information obtained by your attorney. Make sure you know, I put this in highlights, make sure you know about the 10-year rule, because if you were the first spouse to this narcissist, asshole, coward, cheater, you are entitled, if you've been in this marriage for 10 years or more, you're entitled to draw on their Social Security. So make sure you know that, and don't forget that as time goes on. Even no matter what the outcome of the divorce is, when that judge hits the gavel, you are still entitled to that through the Social Security benefit system. If you are the first spouse of the narcissist, this goes for male or female, you can draw on their Social Security, and sorry to the next one, because, oh no, the first spouse, ex-spouse gets it. So just highlight that for yourself. Little side note. I want you to, if there's recordings, I personally would go no contact as soon as possible. Like for my instance, it was pretty easy for me because me and my daughter and my home and family got ghosted by this narcissist. He had already established with a new fuel source, moved right in with her. So he was ghosting me anyway. But eventually, after I stopped being a piece of crap and begging for this, I mean, pardon yourself, the things that you may do in the beginning, because these people never leave in a peaceful way. They blindside you, and they're always manipulating. But when you do get the strength, go no contact and turn all communication over to your attorney, because anything that's back tit for tat with a narcissist is still going to be lies and manipulation anyway. And the no contact from you is going to start you on a healing journey. You'll find that the longer that you're in no contact, your emotions settle. And you can, again, look at this divorce process and finishing it up and finalizing it as merely a business transaction, right? Defend yourself. They want you to cave. They want you to buckle. They're going to try to break you emotionally, mentally, psychologically, physically, financially, for sure, spiritually. Do not bend. Do not break. Tether to God, because that is going to be your strength to get you through this divorce process. Personally, for me, looking back, I would not even bother with negotiation and mediation, because you get absolutely freaking nowhere with these people. If you tell them you want the blue ink pen, they're going to tell you they want the blue ink pen. So if you can suggest that to your attorney, do not bother even pissing around with negotiation and mediation with a narcissist. Don't, because mine made it all the way to his divorce. He divorced me, probably. My divorce made it all the way to, no, I'm going to reword this. You know what? No, because this wasn't my choosing and doings. His divorce process made it all the way to the first day of trial, legit trial, before there was any kind of bend and break, and it wasn't me. Don't waste your time with mediation, because all of that time you're going to be wasting on more attorney fees, more fees for going to court. I personally would not do that again if I were you. And again, do not expect them to be transparent in the discovery process. They're going to hide assets. They're going to manipulate and move money. If you can go back through and find out and see, to prove, again, I had plenty of proof of the infidelity, so that was not a problem with me, because I'm just kind of a natural, intuitive person that just got gaslit for 12 years and finally started gaining my own balls back, my own inner strength, through God, of course. But I'm a natural investigator anyway, because I'm very attention to detail and I want to know the ins and outs of things. So first of all, that was the first thing that I did, was educate myself on my specific laws. There are too many. I don't know how many times it was said to me too. I didn't care. I allowed myself to do my own research, and then of course correlated with my attorney, and it was true. It was me doing a lot of my research, that just because it's a no-fault state does not mean that infidelity doesn't matter in the divorce. No fault states, what that means is either party can file without reason. When it comes to a divorce in the state that I'm in, you'll have to specifically do the research in your own state. But infidelity does matter, again, and I'm reiterating this because it's very important. I want you to stick up for yourself, and what you deserve from putting in your years of your life you don't get back is your future. Assets and alimony do matter when it comes to infidelity in a marriage, in my state. Division of assets and alimony. So prove it. You can't go in there and say, I know he's having an affair. I know she's having an affair. Prove it, like I said, through documentations. Document. And a lot of the days, in the days of technology that we're in, I still chose to print everything out. There was many trips because I don't have a compatible, I didn't at the time, compatible printer for my laptop. It was many trips to places where I could make copies, tangible copies. Make a copy for yourself and make a copy for your attorney to save a little bit of fees there, because they charge you for everything. So if you're like me, in the end of this situationship, this person was the main breadwinner. In the beginning, I was, but all of that's flipped on its side. Of course, with a narcissist, you know, they are going to be the only ones that are that knight in shining armors. And so again, know your laws in your state, and then get your emotions in check. Document everything. Do not expect them to be transparent with a discovery, so search things out yourself. Don't be surprised if you're being charged to subpoena some of the information that you're being asked to, they are being asked to be turned into attorneys for the discovery process. If you have extra money on top of attorney fees, which I know is very hard for some people, but if you do have the assets, and there's a lot of, you know, digits there that are up for grabs in the situationship of going through a divorce with a narcissist, hire a private investigator. Hire a private investigator, and they can do all the dirty, you know, diving deep into the dumpsters of all the shady shit the narcissist does with moving money, change of habits, changes of spending, taking their new supply on lunch dates and shit when they're still living at home with you. Allow, I guess, if you have the money to do that. I didn't. I had to do this on my own, along with some trusted third parties that just did favors to prove the infidelity, and it will make a big difference in the end for yourself. So when you do get partial discoveries or statements in the back and forth between the attorneys from the narcissist, you are going to be accused of things that aren't even true. I know for my situation, I'm just going to share this as an experience. Back to this, I digress. If you were a stay-at-home wife or husband and that narcissist was the main breadwinner in the end and they abandoned the home, you may be entitled to different types of benefits for that as well. But I had to do my research, and so this one left, did abandon the home, but I did change the locks because this person changed their phone number, moved in with his new supply, and kind of erased this whole part of his play out of his life. I changed the locks for my own safety. Now, some people will tell you you can do this. Some people will tell you that you can't. I would say trust your intuition. Do everything you can to protect yourself legality-wise, because you don't want to be getting yourself in trouble. But for in this instance, I did seek counsel. I was able to change the locks for my safety because this person just like abandoned the home, and there was shady situations that took place prior to that. I proved that by sending a tangible threat to the attorney that showed that this person needed to leave this home because they hated it and it was going to end in disaster or worse. So that was pretty much a threat. Legally, I changed my locks, covered my bases. This person in the discovery made it sound and appear that I changed the locks for no reason and was trying to blame me. So the whole point of me sharing this experience with you, which was like the most outlandish fuckery of a divorce ever, and I've been divorced years ago, not from a narcissist, they will come at you and accuse you of shit they were doing. Or like this, like I was sharing about the locks. Oh, I just changed the locks on him. No, he freaking abandoned the home and moved in with his new supply. So, you know, they're never truthful. And so this one changed his address to mommy's, but yet he was at his new fuel source's house from day one. And I had paper proof, tangible proof of that. So cover all your bases. Do not ever let your guard down with these things because they are ruthless little cowards. Again, they will accuse you and make it sound like in front of the attorneys and the judge that you were the problem. Cover your bases. Document, 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 because I was ready for trial. I was ready for trial. You want us to come up with some BS about me? Here's some papers. You know, I was ready, still am, not going to throw them away yet. Like I said, 14 plus months process of a divorce in my situation. And about 3 months of that was because I found out I had a medical issue, a very life or death medical situation. So protect yourself at all costs because you do not need to be a doormat no more to these little bastards. And if you invested your heart, your soul, your life, your time that you do not get back, that's the worst part about it. The farther you get away from the situation, the more you get your emotions in check. The divorce process will become easier and easier for you to go into warrior mode, meaning defend yourself, come with truth. And one of the biggest things for me in my situation is understanding that the negotiation was going to be useless because, again, they don't want resolution. It's still about control and manipulation, even though they've already bounced out to that next fuel source. They don't want you, but they don't want you to move on. They're sick, twisted. Defend yourself, please. You are so worth more than the bullshit you've been through with a narcissist. So I would suggest, here's a couple more notes to end this up. Go no contact and allow your attorney to deal with the whole process, because this back and forth crap with a narcissist, you will get nowhere with them. They lie, gutted my kitchen the whole time. Oh, I'm going to finish your kitchen and da-da-da-da-da. Never planned on it in the first place. Again, was ready to prepare all of that for trial as well, with tangible photos, documentation, you name it. So just defend yourself. I already brought this up, but if they were the main breadwinner and they just skated off and did not send you money. So in this instance, the narcissist I was with researched on Google the same thing that I found out, which is if they are the main breadwinner and abandon the home without helping supply the money for the bills, they can be charged with other things for abandonment. So he covered his own base by doing his research before I even knew that he was having an affair. No. Before he gaslit me into thinking he wasn't having an affair, I should say, because I was asking questions. Never doubt your intuition with these dirtbags. These women and men that go out there and just think that, the grass is greener, they're going to find out the turf is the turf. So do your thing, but make sure you just stick up for yourself. Because like I found out in certain instances, you can change the locks, even though it was being made in the paperwork to look like I just changed the locks to the home, even though the mortgage was in his name. It's not true. There was a reason, and I had proof to back it up. So I think I'm going to leave it with that for now. The end result of a divorce process from the narcissist is it's going to be just as shitty as it was to come to the realization that the whole thing was a shit show nightmare and nothing but usury from a narcissist. So I just want you to, I know my faith and my connection with God and a very strong support system of people who truly love you. Go to them, people, for your emotional support. Try to keep the business of the divorce process business, because you are going to be on the clock. Every email, every phone call with an attorney, and it can be very costly, especially when you're going through a divorce process from a narcissist. I mean, it was his own divorce, and he was uncooperative. Don't be surprised if the same happens with you. They're just really twisted people. Again, do not forget about this. I know life happens and things get forgotten and brushed to the wayside, but if you were the first spouse of the narcissist, you are eligible for their Social Security benefits, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one are screwed. So you do get a little bit of extra cushion there for being a doormat to them, the first doormat to them, if you were legally married. Not going to reiterate much other than be gentle with yourself, because the emotions are so high and all over the place when you realize that the whole thing that you were in was nothing but usury and fuckery. And, do the things every day, whether it's just doing breath work, prayer, meditation, getting out in nature. Do things to decompress, because it's a very stressful process, even when you do go no contact and you go to all these different court dates and whatnot. So be gentle with yourself. Defend yourself. Do not buckle, because this is what they want you to do. And until the next episode, shalom, shalom.